Hello guys. Today hot news into a crypto world. Ethereum, flippening, Bitcoin. Can it happen? How? And what it might mean for crypto? It sounds like the name of some obscure horror movie, but the flippening is something that continues to generate plenty of debate in crypto circles. In fact, now that Ethereum is close to its long-awaited shift to proof of stake, it has begun attracting more attention than ever before. Particularly amid claims that Ethereum will become a deflationary asset following this shift. This is certainly a contentious issue, particularly when the flippening can mean more than one thing. Yet there's general agreement that Ethereum will flippen Bitcoin on at least some metrics. Even if there's plenty of disagreement as to whether it will become more valuable in terms of market capitalization. At the same time, commentators tend to agree that even if the flippening does happen, at least in some respects, it wouldn't diminish Bitcoin's current status as a store of value. The flippening. What does it even mean? The notion of Ethereum flippening Bitcoin has been around since at least 2017. In the original sense, it meant that Ethereum would become a #1 cryptocurrency on coin ranking sites such as CoinMarketCap, said Joseph Tetek, brand ambassador at Satoshi Labs and Trezor. In this sense, Ethereum would need to reach a price of Bitcoin 0.156 per unit in order to flippen its rival, although, at the time of writing, it stands at around Bitcoin 0.0774. It means that Ethereum should more than double in price while the price of Bitcoin should stay at the same level. Given this gap, Tetek sticks his neck out and says he doesn't think a flippening in this sense will ever happen. Ethereum has briefly reached a price level of approximately 0.14 Bitcoin in June 2017 and has posted lower highs since then, he told. Other industry figures take more of a mixed view. That is, they think the flippening is unlikely in terms of market capitalization, but nonetheless possible. Some say that because Ethereum will be deflationary after the merge, it will then have the same characteristic of scarcity that made Bitcoin soar, and because in addition, Ethereum also has actual utility as gas for a settlement layer. These two things combined will make Ethereum more valuable than Bitcoin ultimately, said Bullion Fund General Partner Mark Jeffrey. For Jeffrey, there is a chance that, post-merge, Ethereum becomes the primary, cash-like, settlement layer for much of the crypto ecosystem. But that is still far from a done deal. However, Ethereum is still slow and unscalable, and it has a year or two to go yet to catch up to Avalanche, BNB, Chain, Solana, Phantom, and others that are fast, cheap, scalable and here now, he told. That said, flippening doesn't necessarily mean Ethereum overtaking Bitcoin in terms of market capitalization. As Polygon, Matic, an Ethereum scaling platform, co-founder Mihailo Biek explains, it can also refer to different stats such as daily trading and transaction volume, as well as other areas. Biek also suggests that Ethereum will only gain momentum following the merge, meaning that we may eventually have to update our conceptions of what's possible. Additionally, Ethereum might as well flippen Bitcoin in terms of its prominence and importance for the industry. Bitcoin is the project that started the industry and as such is incredibly significant, but the astounding level of innovation, use cases and adoption happening in Ethereum might easily make it the flagship project and the first association when our industry is mentioned, he added. What happens to Bitcoin if Ethereum overtakes it? Assuming that Ethereum flippens Bitcoin in one way or another, how would this affect the latter? Would any flippening somehow affect Bitcoin's value or standing? It would be about Ethereum becoming more valuable, and would not diminish Bitcoin, argued Mark Jeffrey, who added that both cryptoassets and platforms serve two very different economic functions. Bitcoin's proof of work will always retain the very highest degree of imperviousness and security. That could become increasingly valuable in the coming years. It should not be underestimated, he said. Mihailo Biek agrees with this analysis, affirming that Bitcoin's inherent value lies in its potential to be a quasi-gold standard and store of value. At the same time, Ethereum serves as the backbone of Web3, propping up the DeFi and NFT ecosystems, among others, that comprise numerous interconnected platforms. So this is more about Ethereum increasing in value rather than Bitcoin losing its own, he said. Joseph Tetek takes a stronger view in Bitcoin's favor, particularly when Ethereum will be moving to proof of stake soon enough, which in his view isn't as robust as proof of work. I don't think Ethereum is sufficiently decentralized to stay neutral and permissionless, and I fear its upcoming move to a proof of stake consensus mechanism will make it even more vulnerable to a regulatory capture, as the stake seems to be concentrated among a handful of institutions, he said. Effect on the wider crypto ecosystem. While a flippening may not really harm Bitcoin's position and its inherent value proposition, It could have an impact on the wider crypto ecosystem in various ways. I don't think that any kind of flippening would harm crypto, but it may reduce the appeal of competing layer -1s, base protocols, Ethereum competitors. One possible shift in focus would be taking cryptocurrency from a single popular use case to a multitude of use cases that Ethereum and solutions like Polygon can support, said Mihailo Biek, who claims that such a shift would be very beneficial for the industry. Mark Jeffrey also says that any kind of flippening would be a net positive for crypto, since it would ultimately mean that Ethereum has attracted more usage and adoption. And given that the crypto market tends to rise and fall more or less as a whole, it would likely increase usage and adoption across the board. He says, any crypto